I want to ask LeBron, what does he mean by there's no party like a Diddy party? I truly want to know. And not only that, LeBron, how many Diddy parties have you actually been to? I'm really curious to know. Just pathetic, man. People think this guy's a role model. LeBron, you're a fucking scumbag, and I hope you get locked up in the same cell with Diddy. So he pulled out of the fight, so I called the UFC and volunteered. I wanted to fight Shavkat. You know, I think he's all hype. He hasn't fought anybody at my level, an elite fighter in a 5-round fight, so I was excited to fight Shavkat. But the UFC had already had other plans that said, hey, we're going to do the other fight with the cuck, Ian Gary. But they're like, hey, but we need to fill this main event with Joaquin Buckley at Tampa. You know, he's not a star. He's a bum. He's a nobody. So we need someone to sell this show. Can you be a company man? Come do it. I said, absolutely, Hunter Campbell. Whatever you need, man. I'm a company man. I love this company. God bless the UFC. God bless America. You know, it's just a beautiful opportunity. I'm excited to be here. Thank you, UFC. I offered him to train. He'd come train in strength and conditioning. You know, I have no problem or beef against the guy. So, yeah, we train together. Nothing wrong with that. I have no ill will towards him, but Saturday night, you know, I'm definitely going to have to take his win streak. He's a cuck. He sits in the corner while his wife gets dogged out by the nutritionist. Isn't that just weird? Like, I don't know why more people don't, you know, talk about that. It's just disgusting. That he brings the last name of your wife's ex-husband. It's just fucking strange. And he does nothing for my career. What does he do for me? He's an absolute nobody who's beaten nobody. So I told him, hey, if you want this fight, just answer the 3 stipulations. Turn on your comments. Your wife wants to be so famous so bad she's quoting Shakespeare, which is just weird in itself. And we know how much weird shit goes on in Shakespeare about fucking cousins, fucking family, all the weird shit they do. But hey, you want to be famous, make a video begging for the fight. And then if you really think you're going to beat me in, agree that if you lose the fight, your wife has to be in my video for BC Game, and we do an America's Pick of the Week for the people. You know, he couldn't answer, and he couldn't meet the stipulations, so there's no reason for me to fight him. He's a bum. I mean, the fight's never been offered, but I can tell you one thing. I have the power to make fights happen. I can go to Hunter Campbell. I can go to Dana White. This is the fight I want. This is the fight that makes sense. This is what the people want. But he couldn't make those 3 stipulations happen, so I don't have time for him. He's irrelevant. He's a nothing. He does nothing for my career. Beating him will do nothing, so it's just a waste of my time. He's a fucking cuck. I don't want to fucking go with a cuck. Who knows where his hands and his fucking whole body, what type of fluids are on him and shit. Like, it's just disgusting. You know, I heard it was boring. I heard his stock went down, and you know, he got exposed. He was all hype. You know, he's got all finishes against all nobodies. You know, he beat the busboy from Outback, the Outback Steakhouse that serves bloomin' onions. Like, how prestigious is that? You know, I'm the superstar in this division. I call the shots. You know, I am the champion. Everybody knows I'm the king of Miami. I think after Saturday night when I convincingly beat Buckley, you know, I'm next in line for the title. You know, I'm a lifetime UFC fighter. I'm not going anywhere, and I never will. You know, even if it was the last fight, I would never leave. Like, I'm staying here in the UFC. I love the UFC. They've done, you know, I'm super thankful to the UFC, grateful, and I'll be here forever. I'm not ever going to entertain another organization or going and doing these gimmick fights. You know, I'm not about that. It's not about the money anymore. It's about honor. It's about respect and paying respect to the company that gave me everything. So UFC, I'm a lifetime UFC fighter. Oh, I know I'm still an elite welterweight. People don't realize, if you go look at the media, Dave, you know, I tried to go do a training camp in Breckenridge, Colorado, because the altitude is like 9,000 square feet above sea level. So I came into fight week on Monday with bad fucking altitude sickness, and people don't realize that. If you go look at the media day, I couldn't even talk. I had freaking phlegm coming down my throat, couldn't breathe. So already going into the fight, I was compromised. And then in the first 30 seconds, I throw a kick, I break my foot in 3 different places. Definitely unfinished business there. I mean, every single fan when we walked out of Madison Square Garden the second fight knew I won that fight. They said, hey, how did you not get your hand raised? Like, they were all just like in shock and disbelief. He won 1 round. You know, the second round was his round. Okay, you got 1 round. It's a 5-round fight. So the first fight we fought, you know, with the food poisoning going in and the bad reffing, I was fighting 2-on-1 that night. Mark Not So God was stopping. I kicked him in the liver. The guy was done. He literally caught him in the liver. His organs were shutting down, and they gave him a 5-minute break. I mean, and then these Mark's pushing me like, oh, calm down, Kobe, calm down. Completely took my focus out of the fight, that first fight. But the second fight I won, the trilogy fight needs to happen for sure. If he leaves and we never get to fight that trilogy, then, you know, I'll have that over him. Then he didn't want to fight me, and I was a better fighter than him. So He didn't say that Khabib was his favorite fighter. He just asked who are some of your favorite fighters, and he had saw Khabib the weekend before, so he's giving a shout out to him. We want good relations with Russia, so it made sense to go that route. We want peace in the Middle East. We want peace around the world. We don't want Russia going after Ukraine. We need more peace. So he has a lot of great fighters. He has a lot of favorite fighters that he likes. I know I'm one of his favorite fighters. That's okay. He invites me to Mar-a-Lago. I was sitting next to him on election night. He's introduced me to Elon Musk for Thanksgiving. I asked him, hey, are we going to go to Pluto? Why can't we go to Pluto? And Elon started laughing. He's like, Colby, Pluto's way too far. But I can tell you that we're going to put 1 million people on Mars. So I was like, wow, Elon, that's so awesome. And this guy that we had in the office was literally a puppet, and he was senile. He doesn't even know where he's at most of the time. He's like looking around like, oh, where am I? Donald Trump's going to make America great again, and he's going to make this country greater than it's ever been. Dude, he's an absolute scumbag. Like, dude, you're making enough good money with the UFC. Now you're going to rug pull and scam all your fans for millions of dollars? I mean, that's why he's cum shot, as an MMA fighter, I don't think he's anything special. That, he got exposed in that Gilbert Burns fight, that he doesn't have good cardio. I thought Usman beat him, when they fought. If that would have been 5 rounds, Usman would have beat him for sure. He needs to stop fucking scamming his fans. Yeah, he's a great fighter, man. He's knocking people out. He's exciting. He's fun to watch. I think he's a great young hungry guy, and he's a dangerous guy. I don't think anybody's going to beat him in that featherweight division. So shout out to Ilya. He's been doing great, and great branding and great gimmick and character that he has, and just a great fighter overall. Man, John has some fruity tendencies. I think the media needs to look into like some of the fruity things that he does. But I can't tell you, I know that he has been with some women, because I remember in college, he always used to get like the fattest girls in the school. I'm talking 300 pounds plus. And he knows deep down inside, this is not a joke. Like, I know his dark hidden secrets that are in his closet. So he's been with some of the just fattest, just 300-pound slobs. It's disgusting. Dude, John Jones is an absolute fucking disgrace to this earth. And yeah, you beat Stipe. Stipe, respect to Stipe first off, because he's a first responder, and he puts his life on the line for the people and for his community. So shout out to Stipe. He's the greatest heavyweight of all time, but he was past his time. He shouldn't even have been there, man. He knows he was old, and he was just showing up for a paycheck. I don't think anything special that performance. I think John needs to stop ducking Tom Aspinall, just like he ducked Nagano. He ducked Nagano for years. Now he's ducking Aspinall. So he doesn't want to fight the guys he knows he's going to get his ass whooped against. John Jones, he's a fucking coward. He's a cheat, and he's a woman beater, and he needs to stop beating his wife and leaving her bloody in Las Vegas hotel rooms.